evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Talladega Super Speedway for the Talladega 225 right here on the Racers Elite Network. Today, I've got my good friend and possibly one of my best friends at this point, Dakota LaRue, with me, and we are all buckled in right here tonight for 225 miles here at Talladega. Before we get down to the track and take care of some qualifying here, let's go ahead and take a look at your race info for today. And we are going to be running 85 laps around this 2.66 mile track right here in Talladega, Alabama. The fuel capacity is going to be a little bit weird today for this race. Um, they are going to be running 100% fuel with unlimited sets of tires, one fast repair, and there is a reward at the end of this thing where the winner will get their fees waived for the upcoming Friday Night Speedway series right here on the Racer Elite Network. And with that being said, Dakota, you want to go ahead and take care of the weather for me?
Sure. Looks like the weather's going to be about 72 for most of the race, with some winds coming in from the north-northwest side about 2 miles an hour, so that shouldn't affect the drivers too much. Our track temp's going to be about 84. No, not a lot of humidity. I mean, overall, it looks like the weather's going to be pretty calm for the entire race here.
It absolutely is, and we're going to go ahead and go trackside as these drivers are going to go ahead and start making their qualifying laps right now. And we're going to catch up here with Mike Fudge in that number two machine. He is driving the Toyota as he.
So,
Go ahead.
Mike, are you a lap one or a lap two super speedway qualifier? Because there is a big fight between me and some friends on if you should go for lap one or lap two.
Lap two. The first two lap or the out lap and the first lap are going to be your slowest laps. Um, and then normally what I do is on that second lap or the first lap, I will rim ride right around the outside, try to hold as much speed as I can out of four, and then shoot it down to the apron or towards the apron in the tri-oval, and then I will say about maybe a truck length or a little bit heading down into turn one, and that will give me enough turn in where I don't lose too much speed. And then I do the same thing in entry of turn three on the backstretch. So that's usually how I get around this super speedway.
Well, that's fair. Normally, my strategy is to come out of the pits and hold about 100 around the apron, and then I think about 140 until I get to the front stretch, and then I'll downshift the third and start speeding up for my first lap, and I'll rim ride and then do the bottom for the second lap. But there are some people that just straight gun it out of the pits and can get about the same time on the very first lap.
That is absolutely crazy. As we continue to watch Mike Fudge here, he's continuing to march around with his second lap here. His first lap was a 55.289. So that was a really good lap for him as he will come across start finish line. And we will see if he can better that lap time of a. He does with a 55.247. Steve Vest in that number 06 Chick-fil-A Chevrolet. He will bring it to the top of the leaderboard with a 55.179. And I will take that back. Terry Fennell will take over the top spot with a 55.136. Let's see who else. Mikey Allen in that number 67 Silverado. He'll finish up his second lap. and he'll get with a 55.320. We have probably just about 6 minutes remaining as we're going to catch up here with Barry Nelson in that number 28 machine.
So since there's no points to go over this week, I mean, having a chance to win the race and get your fees paid for the actual series is really good, to be honest. I mean, that's a very good promotion in my mind.
Absolutely, and that is something absolutely phenomenal uh, that Andrew is doing right here for tonight's race. Is it may only be $20 for the season, but that's $20 that you can keep in your pocket too. So it's awesome that Andrew is doing this for these drivers. So it's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top and will walk away with a free entry this upcoming season.
A lot of the leagues I've ran in, no one's ever did that before. So I mean, that is pretty big. And then hopefully at least do some good racing. I want to see some good side by side battling here, and some. I know it's going to be clean driving. I don't want to say clean driving, but just some good battles for this.
Oh, absolutely, and that's something that this series always produces here on Racers Elite Network, is that awesome racing that you will see here tonight. As we look and see Barry Nelson coming out of turn number 4 for the second time. Let's see if I'm sorry, for the first time, I should say. And then let's see if he can get in a decent lap time here. It'll be a 55.6. I'm sorry, a 55.690. Correct? Yeah.
Is there anyone in the field you got your eye on that we've watched the past couple streams here?
I have been watching Adam Squires in that number 35 Toyota. The last couple times I've seen him out on track, he's been fast. And unfortunately, our last broadcast here, he did just come up a little bit short. But I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do here tonight at Talladega, as Barry Nelson will come across the line and he will move up to a 55.320, and that will put him ninth fastest.
I think I'm gonna go with Curtis Ecker. That's the one I've been keeping my eye on here recently. And then also, Andrew Taft, who's always there just when he needs to be.
Absolutely, for sure. However, I don't see Andrew Teft out here on the
He just
leaderboard.
hopped in the server, I believe.
Talk about a last second edition, and everything is going to get moving here very, very shortly. A couple people we would like to thank, Family Traditions Outdoors. They're looking to make the great outdoors a family tradition. Check them out up in Pennsylvania. Want to thank Speed Zone Race Control. They do race control for every single event here with Racers Elite. So if you're looking for a good, strong race control, use Speed Zone Race Control. And we would also like to thank McConey uh, Setups. Yep, McConey Setup Shop. If you ever need any good setups, head over to McConey Setup Shop. They are always, willing to help out at decent prices there as well. And of course, we want to thank 213simware.com for all of your sim racing gloves and shoes that you may need for your sim racing needs, KS Designs. If you're looking for some amazing paint schemes for your race cars, check out KS Designs, giving your visions reality. And we would like to also thank Admin Box as well. If you're looking for a decent button box for your simulator, check Admin Box out. They do everything from racing simulator button boxes to your aircraft simulator boxes. So they are actually, I actually bought a box from Admin Box once, and it's lasted me a very, very long time. So definitely check them out. Alrighty, Andrew Septon, that number 98 has finally popped up on screen for us. And that is going to do it for our qualifying. And we are now going to switch over to our grid for tonight's event. Starting row number one, you have Cody Benelli in that number 19 Ford. He'll be on the out or inside of row one. To his outside is going to be Adam Squires in that number 35 machine. Terry Fennell in that number 50 machine. He'll be on the inside of row two with Steve Vest in the 06 to his outside. Row number three, you'll have Pete Polini in that number 47 Chevrolet. And to his outside, you have Mike Fudge in that number two machine. Inside of row number four, we have Barry Nelson in the number 28 Chevrolet. I think that actually just changed up on me there. Uh, so the inside of row four is actually Jonathan Winslow and then Barry Nelson to his outside. Dakota, if you want to take it over from there.
All right, holding down ninth position, we got Mike Allen. 10th will be Dwayne Davis. 11th is going to be Andrew Teth, or the owner. 12th will be Kyle Hess. 13th and 14th will be Kinsley Smith and Kirby Wainscott. Holding down 15th is going to be Curtis Ecker. And rounding out the field is going to be Timothy Yisprin.
Absolutely. We're looking for an awesome, fun race today. And yes, Andrew, you're going to see this and you're going to get a chuckle for me using absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we are out and ready on the racetrack to get this thing under green flag conditions. And we saw some amazing racing in the real life truck series race today. And now these guys are going to do it for 85 laps right here on the Racers Elite Network. And before we get started, everybody, make sure you go down, subscribe to our channel. Every subscription counts, so just go hit that big red subscribe button, hit that bell to get all the notifications for when we go live, and never miss awesome racing right here on Racers Elite Network. And before I forget, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mike Taylor. I think I said that already. Maybe. I'm Mike Taylor with my good friend Dakota LaRue.
I think we did that one.
I think we possibly did. I can never remember.
Ace Truck's going to be in this time.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Cody Benelli, that number 19. And Adam Squires to his outside. And we are green flag racing right here at Talladega Super Speedway for 85 laps for the Talladega 225. Adam Squires in that number 35 Yahoo Toyota's getting a really good push from Steve Vest in that 06 on right behind him in that Chick-fil-A Chevrolet as they
The
continue.
outside got a really good start that time.
Oh yeah, that is one of the best starts on the outside that I have seen in a very, very long time. As you see one car near that back just falling back. That looks like it might have been, I believe that's the 98 of Andrew Teft back there. Oh,
And we
nope,
got some
one.
pretty wide racing.
Absolutely, 3-4 wide racing already happening up here for that fourth spot, as you have three trucks on the outside being led by the number 10 of Kirby, Wayne Scott. Wayne Scott's looking for that strong finish here today when he's getting pushed by Kensley Smith in that number 15 and Curtis Ecker. Dakota is your choice to win this race here today, and they were going to be on the outside, and they will now just run double wide up here near the front of this pack. These drivers now exiting turn number 4 for the second time here today. And that outside lane's kind of stalled out just a little bit right around that fourth spot. But these three trucks on the outside, they're not giving up just yet as they enter turn number 1.
There'll only be 3 trucks on the outside. They're holding pretty strong.
Absolutely. That is one thing that you can do with these trucks versus, like the Cup car, is you can run 3 trucks and be actually quite fast, where in the Cup car you actually need like a good 6 or 7 cars to really make any sort of movement. As you see them now running side by side for the race lead, Kirby Wayne Scott looking to take over that top spot, and he's getting an incredible push by Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine.
Kirby's actually going to end up leading that lap.
Yeah, Kirby will take over that top spot as he jumps down. As we ride on board now. As we ride on board here with Mikey Allen, that number 67 machine, around this wicked fast super speedway. Just to get a general sense of how fast this is. It doesn't really seem like it's much of a handful, but let me tell you what, it makes a world of a difference. Oh, let's get out from that view. Alrighty, as we're looking back to the 67 of Mikey Allen from Curtis Ecker's machine. These drivers are running probably just about 180 miles an hour. And they are still running side by side. So these drivers are actually doing a really phenomenal job early on in this race. I mean, we're only working lap 5 or 6 now as they cross start finish line. But these drivers are very well spread out. They know that this is a very wide racetrack, and so they're using it to their advantage so that they're able to run side by side, about 6 rows deep. So this is actually really good racing right here. And Kensley Smith on that outside, he's looking to get a good push to get right next to Kirby Wayne Scott. This upcoming season for this Super Speedway Series, you can catch all the action right here on the on Racers Elite Network, and you will have myself and Dakota up here in the booth all season long. So come on out Friday nights. Enjoy your evening with us as we go super speedway racing at not only big wibble out of there out of Kensley Smith, but not only are we going to be running Daytona, Talladega, we're also going to be running Atlanta, and we'll be making a couple visits to the iRacing Super Speedway. Oh, and Charlotte in the mini stocks. That's going to be a fun race once we get our season rolling. machines. They continue to run side by side right here.
You know, one of the key factors to making it through this race is really the measurement between each vehicle. And as you can see here, I mean, they're plenty spread out. They're just enough to keep the draft, but not enough to be overly pushing and trying to wreck everybody, which is what you really want to see at this type of track to get good green flag runs.
Oh, absolutely. And this is, again, this is a 225-mile race. So you really don't want to be pushing too hard. Um, and you don't want to take yourself early on in this race. We still got 78 laps to go, 77 when they come back to the start finish line this time. So that's something that they're going to want to be very careful of. Be careful of here as well. So that they want to make sure that they're minding their p's and q's until at least, maybe like the last 6-7 laps. About when do you like to start making your move towards the front?
That's a hard call because, I mean, how they're racing right now, where they're being very clean and patient, I'm fine just chilling in the back. But once it comes to probably 30 to 20 to go, I'm going to start working my way towards the front, maybe making some small moves. But within the last 10 laps, it's typically, if it's been a green flag run, it's going to be throttle down, and that's when you'll start seeing the big moves.
Definitely, you know. So I ended up running the NASCAR iRacing Series fixed race last night, where we ran for what was it, 90, 98 laps, something like that, and
With
on.
carnage.
So we actually ran the first half of the race green flag, and then we had caution breed caution after that, and I went on the last lap. I went from 7th to 1st as they crashed in the trioval, and I was able to sneak around and come out victorious last night. So, no matter what position you are, anything can happen. But I started making my way to the front probably with like 4 laps to go.
Yeah, that is a good point there, though. Like, a lot of people believe that chilling in the back you can avoid wrecks, or being in the front you can avoid wrecks, but at these super speedways, I mean, it doesn't matter where you're at, you can get caught in something at any point in time.
Definitely. As you continue to watch these drivers march their way around this racetrack, when this racetrack was built, uh, it was built on a old, if I'm not mistaken, an old Air Force base, as there are still remnants of a airport in the infield of this super speedway. And when Bill France built this track, he wanted it to kind of simulate Daytona, but he wanted it to be bigger and faster. So he added 4 more degrees of banking. So he went from 32 at Daytona to the 36 you see here at Talladega. And he said, why not make it longer? And he added point, what was it, 0.16 to the length of this track. As you see a lot of movement in the back, they're getting a little bit sideways coming out of one of the machines.
As we have time right now, how do you feel about them adding more horsepower to the cup cars, and what kind of changes do you think it's going to bring towards iRacing once they implement it into iRacing?
That is that's definitely a very tough question to answer. um I don't think horsepower is the biggest problem uh you know within the Cup Series, as you see Kensley Smith getting an incredible push from Curtis Secker for the race lead now. Um, I don't think the horsepower is going to draw more people in. It's going to make the cars a little faster on the tracks that they're implementing it for, but
Short tracks at mile and a half's only, if I remember correctly.
right. I just and road courses. I just don't see it really making a big difference. I think, and I really hate to say it, but I think it's the chase format that absolutely kills it.
Which that could be a whole entire debate in and of itself, like multiple different formats. As we're actually seeing a pass for the lead.
Yep. What an incredible push here by Curtis Ecker in that number 8 machine to the rear end of Kensley Smith. He got him out there for a split second, but then that push behind from Adam Squires to Wayne Scott was able to get him back in the lead here, and it looks like it's possibly going to be Wayne Scott will be leading this lap.
You know, watching this race so far, I know when it comes down to the last few laps, if I got Curtis behind me, I feel very comfortable because he's been doing some really good pushing up there on the high side.
Yeah, absolutely. Those two, Curtis Ecker and Adam Squires, both have been doing a phenomenal job at keeping their respective leaders out front. So as these laps starts to wind down, you're gonna start figuring out who you can and cannot work with. And so what it boils down to is, who do you trust at the end of this race?
Well, I mean, last lap, do you really trust anybody? Because someone could be pushing you last lap and then just whip it right down to the inside. But
Absolutely. That can make, the world of a difference. But if I know for a fact that I'm not going to be able to get around for the race lead. So for instance, so like this was the last lap and I am in that number 35 machine of Adam Squires, and I know for a fact that I'm not going to be able to make a run. I know for a fact I'm going to be pushing Kirby to the win, and I'm going to stay right there on his bumper. So for me on the last lap, if it's too chaotic, not enough room, I'm not going to make a move because I want that strong finish. If this was for points, I want that strong points at the end of the race too. So, so it's a good balance between, points or trying to win and the situation that I am in on that final lap. If I'm in the final lap and I can make a run out of turn 4, and I can block the outside, then I'm going to take that chance, block the outside, and get that push from the guys behind me and pray that they don't try to jump to my outside and try to take me 3 wide.
oh yeah, for sure. So it does seem like the outside lane struggles with the more trucks they get up there. I've noticed whenever they only have about 3 or 4 trucks up there, they're moving and catching up. But it just appears like
Absolutely.
once
As you see,
trucks get up there, they slow down.
absolutely. And if you look here, that 15 machine of Kensley Smith, he got out from in front of that 8 machine of Curtis Ecker. Ecker might have been starting to get probably a little bit warm, but he also might have also realized they're not moving forward. So how about we try pushing somebody else instead? As you see that 19 of Cody Benelli jump into the front there and try to take over that race lead as he gets an incredible push there from the 8 car.
Could have been dropping to the back to try to save a little bit of fuel. They've been running up there in that top spot for a little bit now.
Yep, these trucks, they can go just about 36 laps on a fuel load. So we are running lap 19 now. So we're going to be starting to see pit stops here probably within the next 10 to 15 laps. Man, Ecker, he is doing an incredible job at pushing anybody and everybody. As you see, Steve Vest in that 06 Chick-fil-A Chevrolet. That's a tough one to say. He fell out of line there, and he will tack on to the rear of the field. Man, that 8 car of Curtis Ecker, he is doing a phenomenal job at pushing anybody that's in front of him. And Squires is doing the same thing in that Yahoo Toyota.
They're doing a very good job at not overheating the trucks and stuff and still keeping decent momentum.
That's for sure. These guys are doing a phenomenal job at that.
The outside line's going to get a pretty good run down the backstretch here. Let's see if they're going to be able to do anything with it on the front stretch this time.
Yeah, these drivers are doing a phenomenal job so far early on. You know, they're pacing themselves. They're not really trying to make things complicated for themselves.
As we see Cody drop down to the inside line after being pushed up towards the front here, and he will take over the race lead.
Yeah, Cody Benelli in the number 19 got an incredible push the whole time by Curtis Ecker. And that's now jumbling up the whole field behind Ecker as we are starting to see 3 wide action coming from. Oh, we got the 67 of Mikey Allen up in that top lane. And I believe that's the. I believe that's actually the 98 of Andrew Teff now starting to make some noise going around that outside lane.
What we're seeing here is people trying to gain a few spots before we go into pit cycle.
Absolutely.
As we got someone on the apron. Not quite sure
Steve,
who that is.
yep, that was Steve Vest once again hitting the apron on the backstretch. He feels like there's possibly something brewing right here. So I think he's just biding his time at this point because he wants to see the end of this race. And he does not want to see that infield care center as they exit turn number 4, continuing to run 3 wide here in the back. Curtis Ecker staying in that middle lane, trying to get a good push out from that. I think it's the 27 there of Dwayne Davis, I believe. Was that? No, that's the 28 of Barry Nelson. That is right behind Ecker now, pushing Ecker towards the front.
Look at the run from the middle lane there.
That was an incredible run there. As Curtis will take over the top spot for just a brief moment. But here comes that outside lane being led by Mikey Allen and being pushed by Andrew Teft. They're hanging strong on that outside up now to that third row and contact in the tri-oval. You want to side draft, but you don't want to side draft that much as Curtis Ecker will take over that race lead. And here comes Barry Nelson out in that number 28 machine to his outside. The 27 of Dwayne Davis still just getting out a little bit out of line here. This isn't going to work very well for that middle lane. If they just sit there and not stay single file, that's going to hurt them in the long run.
One thing I will say about these tracks is the side draft matters so much. As you have seen me personally, I like to send it up the middle. I'll go up the middle by myself and drive myself to the front using the side draft. But these drivers are being very respectful right now and pretty patient, but we are starting to pick up the pace a little bit, it seems.
And here, that 28 machine of Barry Nelson hanging strong on that outside. And he's trying to get past the 10 car of Kirby Wainscott. As we do have three cars heading out to that outside. That's the 27 of Dwayne Davis. He made the jump to the outside in that Ford F-150 Dr. Pepper machine, as he will go ahead and get pushed by the number 15 of Kensley Smith in that Napa Chevrolet. But everything's now all jumbled here in this outside lane, and so they're still continuing to fall back and falling all the way back to that 6th, 7th position, as the 28 finally gets to that back bumper of Davis, and he is now pushing him back towards the front. They're up to the 4th spot now, which is that 35 of Adam Squires, and they are still chugging along on that outside with those 4 trucks. The 15 of Kensley Smith, he will jump out, and Andrew Teft will go with him, and they are now running 3 wide here for the 2nd spot. Dwayne Davis in that number 27 machine, he's going to go ahead and take over that race lead for the time being, as that outside lane is continuing to push like there is no tomorrow. That 28 of Barry Nelson is all by himself, and they will go ahead and bring him back down double wide here at the start-finish line.
Yeah, it's getting time. It's getting very close to that pit stop time, so they're starting to jumble around, trying to get as many positions as they can and drop to the bottom.
Absolutely, these drivers are now starting to make their way to the inside. As you see, Kensley Smith gets a good push there from Andrew Teft into that top spot, and they will take over 1st and 2nd. But here comes that 28 machine of Barry Nelson getting a good push. Oh. Who's that, Mikey? Yep, that is Mikey Allen right behind Nelson, giving him that good push towards the front now. Barry Nelson.
Barry Nelson with a good push there on the outside is going to be taking over our lead currently. Is anyone else on the outside going to be able to go through towards the front before the pit stop starts? That's the 67 of Allen is making a pretty good charge here. Don't think he's going to be able to clear though, as they're going to go on the 1 and 2.
Adam Squires pushing that 67 of Mikey Allen out front. Allen probably, I believe he might have led that lap. Let's go ahead and take a look here and see if he did. Yes, he did lead that last lap, as we get a big loose there from Barry Nelson on that inside lane. He's getting pushed heavy by Kensley Smith now.
So with there only being 3 trucks on the outside, you know, if the 67 does get out to the front and drop down, is the other 2 trucks going to be able to maintain the pace, or are they going to just not have to drop to the back? What's your guess?
They will absolutely have to drop to the back. To make these trucks work the best, you need to have 3 drivers minimum. As you see, those 3 drivers on that outside getting, really good run here, going through turns 1 and 2. Allen getting an incredible push now by Adam Squires in that Yahoo Chevrolet, and now they will take over the 1st and 2nd spot. As let's see, they now continue to run by side, but that 15 of Smith, he was able to get Nelson back out front. That outside lane kind of got a little bit jumbled there, and that allowed your current race leaders to get back around them in 3 and 4.
Kind of looked like Mikey Allen might have thought he was clear to try to come down and assume the lead here, but ended up looking and getting a second thought there and trying to get back up the track. He's going to be shuffled to the rear of the high side here.
Yep, that might also be by design to allow that 35 of Adam Squires to get some air to his grill, because you can only push these trucks so far before they start to overheat. However, Mikey Allen has dropped back way too far. So as I said earlier, two trucks just don't work. As you see that taking place right here, and those guys have fallen all the way back to the eighth, ninth spot now.
Right, we should have about to 5 to 6 laps before they start pitting, I would assume. But if they could feel safe a little bit, we'll just get about 8 laps max.
I do believe this will be a two pit stop race. So are you going to want to run it till it's empty, or are you going to want to try to short pit?
So it depends on what everyone else is doing at this point. As we're going to see pit stops now.
Absolutely. A
As most of
lot
the
of guys
field's
coming
coming
down
down.
pits right now. One up in the grass. The 15 gets turned. A lot of mistakes just happened here on the entrance of pit road. The 35 of Adam Squires, he totally missed the entry into the pits, and so that's probably going to give him a black flag. And then you had the 15 of Kensley Smith. He got turned in his pits, or coming down into the pits. So how's that going to affect him now as these drivers start to pull away from pit road? And we're going to jump back up here to Kyle Hess, Andrew Teft, and Steve Vest now, as these guys will go ahead and make their way down on pit road. Oh, big mistake by Kyle Hess. He totally missed the commitment line, and he's going to come down, and he will get penalized for a unsafe entry into the pits, which I believe that is a drive-through, if I'm not mistaken.
And not only is that going to affect him, it's going to affect Andrew Tift as well, as he's going to be the only one coming out of the pits. Like, Vest is going to be a few, what is that, hundreds, thousands behind him, as he was a little bit off the pace there behind them, but he was still within draft. So that might make Andrew a sitting duck, as the rest of the field is going to be coming by at almost full speed here.
Yep, as of right now, we got three cars all the way out, or three trucks all the way out. You got the 19 of Cody Benelli, Curtis Ecker in that 8 machine, and Timothy Yasbrand in that 192 machine. He's coming out here. We haven't really spoken about him yet. And he's out here in that Hershey's Chevrolet. So now it is just these three drivers here on the back straightaway. The next guy's back, as we have some radio technical difficulties on that 92 machine of Timothy Yasbrand. Anyway, these guys are out to just about 1 second in front of Terry Fennell and Pete Pellini, as these guys are now in their draft, and these two will pull up quickly to the rear end of Yasbrand. And so now we have a 5-truck battle for the race lead.
This is what I was talking about right here. Right now, Andrew's going to be a sitting duck, but luckily he's going to be able to drop down and have 2 trucks behind him. So he's not going to have to worry as much about losing the draft. Crazy how the pit cycle can change things so much, huh?
Absolutely. It is just absolutely insane. When this pit cycle started, everybody was nose to tail. But now we have a 6-truck pack here for the race lead. And everybody else is just about 8 seconds back. to the rest of this field.
Yeah, and this also goes to show sometimes it pays off to be in a smaller group and going to pitting separate laps later. That way you don't have to worry about any incidents or anything affecting your pit.
Yeah, I was really worried there about Andrew tempting that number 98 machine, but him and Steve Vest were able to work with each other, and they were able to stay in contact with this top four drivers here. So it was an incredible save by them, but unfortunately, Adam Squires in that 35 and Andrew Hess, they both had to come back down pit road after it was all said and done to serve penalties. But we still got 49 laps to go this time by, so anything could still happen.
I mean, theoretically, with that second group being, bigger, as long as they stay single filed out, they should be able to catch up to the leaders here. But that is a big if they stay single filed out. And it is Dega. We could always have the big one. You never know.
That is very, very, very true there. As as you see here, the top six here got four trucks on the inside, two on the outside. Let's jump back here for 7th through 12th. Now these guys are out front here, or going past the start finish line now, and they're being led by Kirby Wainscott. These guys are now running single file, just about 7.8 seconds back to Timothy Yosbrain in that 92 machine. If those guys up front continue to run double wide, it's only going to hurt their momentum, and these guys back here, they're going to quickly start gaining back.
So I was wanting to do, since we didn't get to do pre-race interviews, I was wanting to do an interview under caution, but the way it's going right now, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. Almost 40 laps into the race, not a single caution, which is great. I'm not complaining at all.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and take a real quick look here at our race recap. So we are working lap 39 of 85. Your current leader is Cody Benelli. There have been 0 cautions so far. And these guys have changed lead, I don't know, many, many times already. That second pack is now just about 6.5 seconds back. So this is what I was talking about, these drivers, just to give you a general idea. Between Pete Pellini in 6th place and Kirby Wainscott back there in 7th. This is the distance as we take a look here. And the more that these guys up here run side by side, the slower these guys are going to go. As that second pack is now down to 6 seconds and quickly gaining.
Yeah. But we'll just have to see how it plays out. Like, once they do catch them, they're going to get to sniff a draft from behind them, too. And they might just honestly try to blow past them on the outside or something. It's going to make it very interesting to see where if anyone tries to block it or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in this case, with it being at Talladega, it's going to be really interesting, as you saw big movement there out of that 27 machine of Dwayne Davis. It kind of messed things up here in this second pack. But I mean, as they catch that first pack, it's going to be very, interesting to see how, what they're going to decide to do. As
So
this,
noticing the inside line is not really completely hooking up and pushing as hard as they can right now, as they're just trying to relax and save their temps and stuff for when that second pack does catch up, I believe.
absolutely, that's a good, point there. That they are, leaving enough space so that they're not overheating, but they're also not, giving enough of a gap, to lose much momentum. But that second pack is they're gaining just about a second each lap. So these guys are going to have to figure this out really quick to, decide, what they're going to want to do.
I believe uh, Pift and Fennel might be able to clear them on the backstretch this next time. They were really close that time.
A good majority of the time, Andrew Teft and Terry Fennel usually work pretty well together in their machines. So it doesn't surprise me to see these two guys hooked up, as seventh place is now just 4 seconds back.
Yeah, you can see the gap shrinking up here from the front. Those guys are definitely working hard and working good together to try to get caught up this lead pack here.
Yeah, it's incredible on how well that second pack is working. As you see them still running single file, which is that's what is working with them in that 15 machine. Kensley Smith is doing an incredible job at pushing that line, to the back end of Pete Pellini, and they're just now under 3.5 seconds back. And the reason why I pointed out that 15 machine is because without that push from behind, that inside lane or that train, I call it, they won't get very far without that person pushing really, really good. And Kensley Smith has shown that he can push. So I definitely now going to look at him, see, where he is in the closing laps. Because now I want him behind me.
As we've officially passed halfway through the race now. I believe you are right. We should have one more scheduled pit stop. Probably about lap 70. Close to lap 70. But we might actually see a few people come down to pits a little earlier than that because, you get 30 some laps and there'll only be about 15 left around lap 70.
Yeah, there will be just about 15 laps remaining.
As that second pack is really starting to reel in the front here. Before too much longer, they're going to get that sniff of draft, and we're really going to see them start flying up here.
Andrew Teft has been flirting with that top spot now for the last 10 laps. As you see that second pack finally catching up to that front pack.
Let's see what kind of move Kirby makes here. As this pusher actually ends up going to the outside. And Kirby chooses to stay on the inside here.
Yeah, Kirby chooses to stay on the back bumper of Pete Pellini there. We have trouble. The 15 is around, and that will bring out our first caution of the day. And huge contact by others out front. Pete Pellini was involved. Big issues here on the front straightaway when that second pack caught them. Let's go back and take a look. Going to take a look first here at that 15 of Pete Pellini as they come into the triable to see what happened. The 47 just shot up the track for some reason. Oh, I think he had something happen on that machine because, let's
Yeah,
ride on board here.
it kind of looks like he was trying to turn, but the wheel wasn't turning a little. Like, so I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, let's ride on board here because as they come into the trival, he was turning, but I think he thought he was clear, but he was not, and he got into the 15 there of Kensley Smith, and that sent Kensley Smith around into the outside wall. Luckily, it was just these two drivers involved in this incident.
Unfortunately for the 47, I believe he's going to have to tow back the pits, and that probably is going to be the end of his race for today.
And don't forget, we do have one fast repair. So he can get that tow back to the pits, go down the lap and pray for a quick caution, and then,
I think we lost radio connection with him, is why I said that.
okay.
Alright, you want to try to pull someone up here for an interview real quick?
Yeah, I'll let you pull somebody and interview.
How about we get our league owner, Andrew Tiff, in here? Nah, nah, nah. Let's do someone else. Let's do Kirby Wainscott. There we go. Let's see if I can find him. Right, there we go. Move to.
Pretty
How's it going,
close.
Kirby? This is Dakota Mike up in the booth. We just want to chat with you a minute while y'all was under caution.
What's going on, guys? You enjoying the show so far?
Oh yeah, it's been some
Absolutely.
very clean, good racing. How do you feel about the second pack there being able to catch up with the leaders? Y'all was working together pretty well there.
Yeah, I had Kinsley behind me. He had some damage from that first pit stop, and I was asking him, I'm like, "Can you push?" He's like, "I'll try." So I'm like, "All right, this is then we're going." Yeah, I
That's
mean,
fair
we
enough.
were I think we were 9 seconds back or something like that. We ended up catching them pretty good.
Yeah, y'all caught him pretty good. How'd you feel about that pit stop though? I'm not quite sure what all happened there. We've seen a couple of people go around, but how'd you feel?
Yeah, I took it extremely cautious because I wanted to go one more because I knew everybody was basically going to be pitting at the same time, and that can get really chaotic and troublesome. But I just didn't have enough gas to go one more lap like Andrew did, so I came in pretty cautious. I cost myself a little bit, and then Kinsley's my like de facto teammate tonight, so I staying in my pit stall waiting on him so that we could try to catch back up, and we did. So that was pretty awesome.
Hey, this definitely a track where it pays off to wait on your teammate, right? So,
Yeah,
Mike, you got any questions for Kirby?
Nah, you were just getting an incredible push there from Kensley, and unfortunately, Kensley is now back. He was involved in that caution. You know, he's going to try to work his way back up to you, I'm assuming. And are you guys going to work together now until the end?
yeah, absolutely. I hope so. I know we had just gotten back up here, and then he gets wrecked, but he from what he said, it doesn't seem like it's too bad a damage. So I think he's gonna try to get it fixed without taking a fast repair. But yeah, hopefully we can find each other again because we've been working well this whole time. I mean, very start of the race, we went up, made it 3 wide, and got to the lead. So yeah, as long as if I got Kinsley behind me, I'm gonna try something.
Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get you back down as we have one to go here. Good luck, stay safe, and have fun, man.
All right, thanks guys. Have a good one.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, while we are under this, while we
Yes.
are under this caution, let's go ahead and take a sneak peek here at your schedule for the upcoming wrong schedule. That's for their Sunday series. I pulled the wrong series out. How about that?
That sounds about like you.
I I mean he's not lying, guys. He's not lying. But don't worry, I got this taken care of, alright? I got it going here. Here we go. Let me go ahead and get the correct schedule up here right before they go green flag. If you guys want to get on the action, head over to racerselite.com, join our Discord, and you can come out and join us starting November 7th at Atlanta in the Xfinity Series as the pace truck is getting ready to go off. Let's go ahead and get this thing back racing. Cody Benelli, Andrew Teft on the inside and outside. And we are now green flag racing once again here at Talladega Super Speedway. Really good launch there for Cody Benelli and Curtis Ecker. No surprise there with Ecker pushing. He's got a very good, strong pushing truck here tonight. As you see, Timothy Yosbrand pushing. Andrew Tefter on the outside, nice and strong, very fast, as they are just a two-truck tandem, and they're able to stay right next to each other here on the backstretch. Go ahead.
I'm going to interrupt you right quick. So, you get about 30 to 32 laps of fuel. Ain't that what we said?
Just about, yep.
So there should be about 35, 36 laps to go as they went green. Ooh. If I'm them, I'm probably going to try to draw it towards the back and save some fuel for a little while. Not going to push too hard. That way I can make it to the end of the race, but what's your thoughts on that? You think they could save that amount of fuel?
It's going to be really close. We have 35 laps to go. I mean, it's going to be really, really tight. So you definitely don't want to be the race leader at this point. Nor do you want to be the leader on the outside either. Terry Fennell having a little bit of radio connection issues there. As Wayne Scott backed off just enough, say, hey, let's go and get your radio connection back together. As that's very out of the ordinary there for Terry Fennell. But everything seems to be looking nice and smooth and beautiful there now. And Fennell, he will now jump to the outside of Curtis Ecker, and he will get a good push here from Andrew Taft in that number 98 Bills Ford F-150.
Buffalo Bills.
Absolutely.
I'm a Ravens fan myself, but we're not doing too hot this season, so I can't say much.
Yeah, my team hasn't done so well for about, maybe 5 years now.
I was about to say you're a Cowboys fan, but they haven't done well in I don't know how many years.
Cowboys, we love you guys. We promise, all right? We love you guys.
Listen, I don't care what team you pull for as long as you're not, rude about it,
Oh, absolutely.
At the end of the day, teams have good seasons, they have bad seasons. You can't be perfect all the time.
Ain't that the truth? As these drivers are now doing a 180 mile an hour pace lap. Now they're looking to go 3 wide here near the back. And Fennell in that 50 truck, he got a really good push by Teft now, and they will take over the top 2 spots as they come across start-finish line. Teft is going to go ahead and try to come down in front, and he will get down in front.
I believe all of them are teammates, so that'll work out really good for them as they'll have 4 teammates, actually 5 teammates, sorry, working with each other currently.
Yep, they continue to run side by side, that outside lane being dragged by Barry Nelson. And that number 15, Napa machine of Kensley Smith, he's trying to work his way back towards the front after getting spun out there for that first caution. So he's done a phenomenal job as he is now going to leave Mikey Allen left to dry on that outside lane, and Mikey's going to fall back, but he's going to go ahead and get picked up by Hess in that number 86 machine. It's going to be phenomenal to see what these drivers can do here as when they come back to the start finish line. They will have just 30 laps remaining. Oh, trouble! The 27 is around hard into the wall goes Wayne Scott, the 15 up in the air. Multiple trucks involved here. It looks like we got the two of Mike Fudge. Kyle Hess is involved. Mikey Allen is involved. Uh, Kirby Wayne Scott. Kensley Smith once again involved in this. Dwayne Davis and the 27 machine. And it all started with that number, I believe it was the 27, I believe, of Dwayne Davis. So let's come back here and take a look, see what happened. The 27 gets turned by the 15 machine, and that is where all the mayhem just ensues. A lot of trucks, just very unfortunate bystanders at that point. Let's ride on board here with Mike Fudge of that number 2 machine as the 27 came down in front of him, and with not much room to go, as you see, he will come down to a complete stop there.
Alrighty, sir. As soon as you get done with that, who would you like to drag up this time for the cautionary?
That is a very, very good question. Oh man, let's bring up that the number 28 of Barry Nelson. I think I want to talk with Nelson.
Alright, give me one moment here. How's it going,
Yeah,
Barry? This is
Hello?
Dakota Mike in the booth.
What's up, babe?
Hey,
Mike got a few questions for you.
yeah. Let me go ahead and let you get into your box here real quick before I start pounding you with questions here.
All right.
All right, Barry. You have a very strong Chevrolet here today at Talladega in that number 28 Havoline machine. Uh, really good pushes coming from you today. How's your truck feel? And, do you think you have what it takes to win here today?
Man, I sure do hope so. Feel real good pushing. Uh, certain folks can be a little more aggressive than with others, but all in all, happy with it.
Awesome. Who do you feel is going to be your best friend from this point on? As when we go green, we'll have probably just about 27 laps to go. Who do you think you want to work with the most?
Uh, it's hard to say right now. Some of them get a little crazy the closer we get to the end, but probably either stick with Terry, see if we can do something.
Alrighty. That's all the questions I have. Dakota, do you have any questions for Barry before we throw him back down?
One question. You coming to the last lap? Are you lifting or are you winning?
We on the wood. Yeah, we on the wood all the way.
I like that answer, bud. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put you back down there with your team. Good
right.
luck and hope you finish well, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, the driver of the number 28 Havoline Chevrolet of Barry Nelson. Since we do have one more lap, let's go ahead and get that 50 truck of Terry Fennell in here. And let's ask Terry a few questions.
What's going on, Terry?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
This is the, go ahead.
so this is Dakota and Mike up here in the booth. Terry, so in that number 50 truck of yours, you seem to be very fast and, you're able to push really well. We just got done talking with Barry Nelson. He said that he's going to look for you near the end of this race. What are your thoughts, and what are your plans coming down to the end of this race?
Well, I really ain't got no plans at this moment. I know I want to try to stay with Andrew, but Barry's a good friend of mine. I got him into this iRacing stuff, and if we hook up, we go into the front.
That is enough said right there, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, you have a very, very strong number 50 Chevrolet, and we're looking forward to seeing what you can do here in the remaining part of this race. Dakota, do you got any questions?
No, sir. Just keep it clean and hope you have a good finish here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Don't try my best.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the driver of the number 50 American Cancer Society Chevrolet, Terry Fennell. So we heard from Fennell and Barry both, and it sounds like those two, they've got a strong connection. As Terry said, he brought Barry into this, so this just could very well end up being the Terry Barry show.
Well, well, well. As the laps are coming to a close, look who's in the lead.
I mean, is that a surprise though?
It's always the last few laps. He somehow ends up in the lead. I'll never understand it. It's Ralph on the pace car, I believe, this time.
I can tell you exactly about that out front with none other than Andrew Teft. He is a very strong restrictor plate racer as we go green flag here once again at Talladega Super Speedway. Teft gets an incredible jump, but you don't want to you don't want to go too far out front, as that will allow cars behind you to get a really fast run. And then, that third place driver, in this case, it would be the 50 of Terry Fennell there. He would have to lift, and then that could very well possibility have a major chain reaction, to the front part of this field. And
Got a good jump, but Cody's getting a good push. I will say that, as he could potentially drop down right now if he really wanted to.
He very well could, and there was an issue back here with that Mike Fudge machine. It seems like he didn't get going, and that kind of jumbled up everybody back there between Mike Fudge, Kirby Wainscott, Steve Vest, Dwayne Davis, and Mikey Allen, and Jonathan Winslow in that number 13 Ford. Winslow's been pretty quiet in that Advanced Auto Parts Ford F-150. Hopefully he does not lose the back end of Mikey Allen. As we jump back up here to your race leaders, they're continuing to run 180-mile-an-hour pace laps here. I wonder if these guys know that we're green in racing, that they don't need to stay double wide. I'm joking.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being too wide and taking your time.
Absolutely not. And with this track, ultimately this track is pretty much the size of your average interstate. You can run 3 wide around this entire track on the front straightaway. You can run 4 wide, but if you are very careful, you can run 4 wide all the way around with no issues. But you got to have the confidence, and you got to have the confidence of the drivers around you as well.
Yeah, I'm not to toot my own horn, but I've been 5 wide a few times. I mean, I ain't saying it always ends good, but it is possible.
Especially in the tri-oval. coming to that checkered flag, anything goes. You can go 5, 6, 7 wide coming to the start finish line. You may end up on your wheels, you may end up on your roof, but you never know how it's going to end, as these drivers are going to come to 24 laps to go this time by. Now, all these drivers, they did pit that under that last caution, meaning everybody can now make it to the end of this race, as we have 2 cars that did lose the pack, and that would be the 13 of Jonathan Winslow in the 13, and then Mikey Allen in the 67 machine. Mikey Allen so far having a very disappointing finish here. Lost the draft early on in this run. So unfortunately, he's not going to have a really good, strong finish unless we get another caution. But with these guys, what we saw at the beginning here before that first caution, it's possible that they could go all the way without, wrecking and crashing into each other.
I mean, to Mikey's defense, I mean, he does have quite a bit of damage at the moment, so that could be hindering if they don't keep up the drafts as well. So maybe we get another caution, he'll get some of that fixed, and he'll be right back up here running.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of these drivers probably have used up their fast repair under this recent caution when we had about 7 cars involved.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is one bad thing. The bad side effects of super speedways. You're going 180 plus, and all it takes is one person to get loose. You just don't have time to dodge it at these speeds.
Yeah. But these guys are doing a very great job, keeping it single or double wide, but staying, pretty much in their lines. As you see Wayne Scott in the back go ahead and dip out, and he'll fall back to the end of the top lane and snuggle up right behind Dwayne Davis in that number 27 machine. I'm going to do a little something that I haven't been able to do just yet, and we're going to, zoom in on some of these drivers here and take a look at some of these paint schemes, because we haven't done that just yet, as we're taking a look at that 86 of Kyle Hess. And in this shot, you can see that they are now going 3 wide, and that's up there with that 15 truck of Kensley Smith, as they are running really tight up there and hanging that 35 of Adam Squires to the outside in that Yahoo Chevrolet. I'm sorry, Toyota. Isn't it Toyota? A lot of racing left here as these drivers climb the banking into turns 3 and 4 once again. Time is ticking away, and a big bobble out of the 19 of Cody Benelli on that outside while getting a good push there by Kensley Smith. And they'll come across the line here. 20 laps to go. How is this going to play out? And who are you watching now as this race is starting to wind down? Who do you now have your eyes set on?
I'm gonna stick with my original pick of Curtis, as he hasn't really led a lot of laps, but he's been at the front just pushing the entire time. He's not really been trying to get the lead, he's just been pushing, but come that last lap, I got a feeling he's gonna be able to make a move.
Yeah, Curtis Ecker has been hanging strong out front all race long.
And the man we interviewed not too long ago, currently leading on the inside line, being pushed by Kurt Sucker.
Yeah. Terry Fennell in that number 15 machine. He is getting pushed by that Curtis Eckert machine, but here comes Andrew Teft back to that outside, getting pushed by Cody Benelli in the 19. And that's somebody who I'm now watching for the near the end of this race. Benelli's been, very strong all day. Able to keep people out front and, just, he started out front. He stayed out front most of this race. So I think I'm gonna actually start keeping my eye on that number 19 machine to see if he can bring it home flag to flag. So that's gonna be interesting to watch as they climb up through turns 3 and 4 once again. That sun's starting to set out of turn 4. And so it's going to start getting a little bit harder for these drivers to see on the exit of turn 4 how much, with that new glare, um, effect that iRacing has. How many of these drivers do you think left that active so that when they come out of some of these corners, you're completely blind?
Well, I mean, some of them might still have it on, but luckily with it being Talladega, the track's not too curved or anything. You can still kind of see the track somewhat to keep it straight. But I'd say not a lot. I don't know a lot of people that actually have that on still because it's so blinding. The outside line is going to be a huge run coming out for this time, and Andrew Ted is possibly going to lead this lap. The inside line is starting to fight back, and the lap will go to the 50 truck.
Yeah, this has been in a very incredible race so far. And now that we're getting down, here just under 16 laps to go, I don't know if you've noticed, but these trucks are starting to move around just a little bit more than they have all race.
Starting to push a little harder. It's definitely getting them a little wiggly in the back of the lines here, but that's normal as you'll have people checking up and stuff.
That 15 of Kensley Smith on that outside, still pushing Benelli towards the front of the pack here. He's keeping him up here pretty well as they now go 3 wide behind him. As I believe that's the 92 of Timothy Yasbrand that attempted to go 3 wide, but no, that was the 35 actually of Adam Squires. He wanted to go 3 wide, but was not able to make it happen. Now we're starting to see that outside lane form better and get a little bit closer to that front. And now we have Benelli trying to, get that good push to get in front of Andrew Teft, but he's still having trouble getting in front of him here.
Yeah, the inside line is definitely not making it easy for him, but as I say that, the outside line gets a pretty good run right there. Coming up on that lap truck.
Yep, Mikey Allen, he just went down 1 lap after having that rough restart. And here comes Adam Squires on the outside. He was able to get alongside of Dwayne Davis there for a second.
And we're starting to see people try to make these, what I call small moves as we're closing in on 10 to go. I mean, we're getting pretty close to 10 to go. People are going to start making some bigger moves, but right now they're just testing the water, seeing if they don't want to go with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do have Mikey Allen coming down pit road. Yeah, this is the point in the race where you're going to try to see what you have, for everybody around you. As you see really big movement out of that Hershey machine on the inside.
How many more laps until we see the third lane form completely? What do you get? About 5?
I say about 10 laps. That'll put us at 3 to go. And I think that's where we might start seeing that third line form. But those guys in the back, they got to start communicating with each other and figure out exactly what they want to do. Start making their way up towards the front of this field. And even if they do want to go 3 wide, they don't want to wait too much longer.
Yeah, I've noticed today that Chicken Coop Racing is working really well together as they've been able to keep staying in the front together. We got 2 Chicken Coop drivers, one leading the outside, one leading the inside charge here, maintaining the control of the race, so one of them could possibly win.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Chicken Coop has always been very strong. And with them being led by Andrew Teft in that number 98 machine, you can't go wrong, choosing those guys to work with. As you see Cody Benelli getting a phenomenal run on that outside. Cody Benelli, he is not associated with a team just yet. But that is always due to change. Kensley Smith with a driving extreme. He's pushing Benelli really hard on that outside, trying to get back in front of Andrew Teft, but they're not able to make anything work just yet. And I believe if they want to really make something work, they're going to have to get down and use that side draft just a little bit more. If they want to really get pulling in front of these guys. The 27 of Dwayne Davis, he's already looking, trying to make a run on that outside, but nobody is going with him, as he's going to be ditched by who was that back there? The 35 of Adam Squires. He ditched him outside, and that just hurt the whole entire momentum of that outside lane, as Benelli fell all the way back to that 4th spot just about. But luckily they were able to get themselves back together, and now they're working their way back towards the front. Now he's running side by side with your race leader of Teft.
I'm seeing a lot of wiggling right now from these hard big pushes coming. It's go time as we're coming into the closing laps.
And there they go. They are looking to get that outside lane formed. And it's Adam Squires. He's trying to make it get formed out there. He's got that momentum, but no one went with him that time by. So he really needs Kyle Hess in that number 86 machine to, go with him if he wants to make that run on the outside work. He gets a really good head of steam, but then and when he tries to go, Hess doesn't go with him, as you have the 27 go up into the wall, 7 laps to go this time by. Everything is starting to get more dicey out front here at Talladega Super Speedway. And we do have 13 cars in this lead pack. Any one of these drivers are still in it to win it. You don't need to be first on the final lap to win this race. You could be all the way back in that 10th spot and still win. So it is still anybody's race, depending on what happens here on the final lap. As Hess is trying to make himself known out on that outside lane. And here comes the 35 now of Adam Squires. He's making it 3 wide on here in the tri-oval, but Hess is just way too far back. They're not able to make anything work, so they're going to have to fall back here and get back double wide here in turns 1 and 2. Smith is still staying right on the back bumper of Benelli, not letting him get too far out in front. And they are staying strong on that outside lane. As you see, the 27 of Dwayne Davis, he's going outside to see if he can make something work. And the 35 just gets to the inside, unable to stay with that momentum. You know, if you're going to do something like that, you're going to want to have to block at the correct time to be able to keep that momentum that you have, as they are now working their way 3 wide with 5 laps to go. Now they're trying to get that outside lane to form.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Some of these cars on the inside towards the back might start moving up there and migrating as well, with it being 5 to go.
Absolutely, and there it is right there. That third line has finally formed. The 35 of Adam Squires getting a good push from Hess, and the 27 of Dwayne Davis is probably going to try to attach, but he's taking too long to attach, so they're not going to be able to complete the passes just yet. As they now come out of turn 4 once again, they're going to look at once again to go 3 wide. For this to work, Davis has to be right on that back bumper of that Hess machine, but I don't think he has enough, you know, speed in order to maintain right behind Hess, as they are struggling to get that third lane going, as they've got a lot of movement. Hold on to it, guys. We are now 3 wide, 2 back. We have 2 on the outside, 3 in the middle. Now we have 3 on the way outside. Now this is where things are going to get really dicey here, as they continue to run around this 2.66 super speedway. Still not able to make it happen. As you see, the 27 of Dwayne Davis, he abandoned that top line. So that's going to be interesting to see on what happens here as we come to 3 to go this time by. The 8 car of Curtis Eckert down on the inside. He just gave the 50 machine of Terry Fennell a massive hit out of turn 4 that last time by. So I think that 8 car is starting to get a little itchy to start making his way towards the front, as he knows time's starting to run out here. Two laps to go this time by. Who is going to take it? Still trying to go 3 wide near the back.
Ooh, someone got loose. Able to save it there.
Yep, now we're starting to get that big movements that we were talking about. The 28 is now going to the outside. He's going to get pushed right back behind by Wayne Scott. Wayne Scott moves back down. Now we have a lot of movement back there. The 27 weaving back and forth. But that third line still not able to make anything happen. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the tri-oval and to the white flag this time. as they are now 3 wide for that race lead. Andrew Teff, Timothy Osborne, Terry Fennell, they're going 4 wide here at Talladega on the final lap. Right now it is Terry Fennell in that number 50 machine as they continue to run 3 wide, trying to make it 4 wide about 7th for that 7th spot, and now they will run 3 wide. Here comes Teft in that number 98 machine. Big squeeze there by the 8 as we have a big trouble behind them. Who was that? That's Mike Hess. I'm sorry, Kyle Hess, Mike Fudge, Kirby Wainscott. But back out front, it is Andrew Teft out front being pushed by Benelli. Benelli to the outside. He's going to get a good push here from Curtis Ecker. Trouble behind him. Ecker is around. It is a drag race. It is a drag race side by side at the line. Who is it? Andrew Teft by .002. What an incredible run by Andrew Teft.
0.002 of a second.
Wow. That was close, ladies and gentlemen. What an incredible finish here. And we're going to come back here and we're going to go slow motion on this finish, ladies and gentlemen. As they come, here we go, through the tri-oval. And they have the big contact, the 8s around, and then this drag race to the start finish line. We are going to go slow motion right here as they come across the line. The checkered flag will wave. And this is going to show you how close it was coming to the line as Andrew Teft, Cody Benelli, both, were starting to beat and bang on each other coming to the start finish line. Oh, oops. Triggered that a little too quickly there on me. No, I can't get it right now. As they will appear on screen. Alright. They're getting ready to come onto your screen here once again. And I am going to pause it as soon as I see them hit that start finish line. Right there. That, ladies and gentlemen, that is how close it was between Andrew Teft, Cody Benelli for the race win here at Talladega Super Speedway. As you see Andrew Teft burning it down here on the front straightaway. Let's go back and take a look and see the carnage that happened behind them. First, we're taking back here to Kirby Wainscott as he goes for a little bit of a ride and able to get it woed down. And then we're going to come take a look here at the 15 of Kensley Smith. See what happened back here. Gonna go ahead and hit the slow-mo here. As you see, the 50 gets turned up into Smith, who goes up and hits Ecker. And luckily, all these drivers, they don't go airborne. Thank God, keeping all the wheels on the ground, as that could have been a lot worse than what it was for all of these drivers. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if there's anybody down here that would like to be interviewed. Alright, so we have the top 3, and let's catch up here with Timothy Yasbrand in that number 92 Hershey's machine.
Uh,
How's it going, bud?
hey, doing fine.
This is gonna be Mike and Dakota up in the booth. You mind if we interview real quick?
Sure.
Uh, Go ahead, Mike.
So, Timothy, you had a very incredible run here, coming home third. Uh, in these closing laps, it got very tight, very close. How did the last 5 laps play out for you, and how did you manage to avoid disaster on the final lap?
Well, I was right behind my partner Terry, and I was trying to push him up there so he can get a win, and I wasn't lined up exactly right on Terry, and um, I had turned him on accident. Didn't mean to, but that's pro racing, most especially at these big tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. You had a very strong card today. You kind of kept yourself in the back a little bit there. Um, was that just by design, or were you actually struggling in that 92 machine to really get it to where you want it to be on track?
No, my truck was fine. I didn't even uh, I didn't even qualify. I made sure that I started 16th, dead last. I was wanting to stay in the last after the first round pit stops and having other caution. I was up front. I didn't want to be up there, so I went back to the back and just ride out and until towards the end. And then the race was on.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, you avoided disaster there, and you were able to bring it back home third. Um, Dakota, do you have any questions for him?
No, sir. But it was great watching you on the track today, man. Y'all were doing some really good racing there.
Yeah, and I just saved it for my buddy Terry. I mean, but besides that, we had a really awesome day. And thanks to Andrew for putting this thing on for us.
Hey, sometimes it happens, man. I mean, it when you're coming down them closing laps and you're pushing hard, any mistake can happen. I mean, it's just part of the racing.
Yes.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the driver of the number 92 Hershey Chevrolet, Timothy Yasbrand.
Iceberg.
Eisburn. You know, I knew I was going to screw it up. I knew I was screwing it up. Yasbrand.
Eyes burn like your eyes are
Burn.
burning.
Eisburn. Oh, so that
Like,
D is silent. Eisburn. Got you.
Yeah. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to
yep,
go fix me a drink.
Heck
you too,
yeah.
bud.
Congratulations, Tim. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get your second place driver from, that hard charging, number 19 machine. Let's go ahead and get him up here.
How's it going, Cody? This is Mike and Dakota up in the booth.
Yes, sir.
I got a quick question for you, man. On
Yeah.
that last lap, it was .2 thousandths, I believe. How did you
Yeah.
feel coming to that the closing lap there?
Man, I was leaning on him a little bit. I was hoping that I was going to get him. We both lost our pushers with that wreck right behind us, so it was just door banging and seeing who gets there.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a drag race, and honestly, I thought whenever you gave him that little bump, you starting to come around him. I think if you'd had another 200 foot, you might have got him.
I think so. Coming to the white, we both ended up in the middle, and I gave him a good shove, and we got through all of the mess coming to the white flag. And then coming into turn 3, I got down, and then he cut my nose. Um, and I had to lift just a little bit, but that made it work out coming out of 4. So it was awesome race. I had
Yeah,
a blast.
it was definitely some good hard racing, especially during the closing laps. But you were up towards the front most of the race. I mean, overall, how was your racing experience for the entire race?
It was real good. Kinsley in the 15, he was pushing the heck out of me on the outside for that whole last run. keeping us close, keeping us in it with the inside. So I mean, big props to him for the push. And then
Yeah,
yeah, it was just a good time though.
you most definitely seem like you took charge on the outside for most of the race. I will say that.
Yeah, but you gotta have the right person in second to do that, and he was the dude.
That is 100% true. Mike, you got any questions for him?
No, it's just what a very incredible run for you. Holding very strong on that outside. Um, just you were very strong all race long. Uh, out front. In the top five for a majority of the race. But yeah, before we let you go today, is there anybody that you would like to thank?
Create Pensacola, the sponsor on my truck. There is a friend of mine's company here locally in Pensacola, and then Andrew for putting on these races, and thanks y'all for broadcasting them, and looking forward to doing it again.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, the driver of the number 19, Create. What was it, Cola?
Pensacola, Florida.
Yeah, Create Pensacola. Ford F-150, Cody Benelli. Congratulations on your P2. And let's go ahead and get our race winner of Andrew Teft up here into the booth.
Before I pull him up, I would like to say since Andrew won, they did spin a wheel to give away the free spot that was being raced for, and Dwayne Davis is the one who won it.
Oh, that is awesome. So Dwayne Davis in that number 27 Dr. Pepper Ford F-150. He will go ahead and race free with us in our Friday night Super Speedway series right here on Racers Elite Network. And he came home to finish 10th here today.
Well, how's it going, Andrew? Our race winner yet again. Seems like you're always up in the booth here recently. This is Dakota Mike up in the booth. How did your race go, sir?
Yeah, I think this Bills truck is good luck. I just got to get them winning more. Yeah, I'm really excited to go back and watch that one. There was a lot of movement on the last few laps. I think we were 4 wide for a second. Um, Thought Cody might have me coming to the line, then he kind of lost his help with that wreck. So I lost mine also. Then it was just it seemed like it was just a drag race between the both of us, but it's kind of hard to tell from behind the wheel. And yeah, that was super close. I think couple thousandths of a second or something.
Yep.
Yeah, it was 2000ths of a second, and I think you about made Mike lose his voice because he got very loud for a moment. That was a very close finish, but I'm gonna let Mike go ahead and finish taking over the interview here.
Andrew, once again, what an incredible run for you in that number 98 machine. You have a knack for super speedway racing. And so I believe, this ain't going to be the last time we talk with you up in the booth. How did that number 98 Bills Ford F-150 run for you all day long? We saw you near the front and the back a little bit, come back to the front. Overall, how was your truck today?
I wasn't sure if I was going to make the race, to be honest. Was out to dinner with family and it was going kind of long, but got in just in time. Started from the back and was able to make up some ground that first pit stop. I think the whole pack, besides maybe three of us, pitted all at once and it was just kind of slow for them. So we came in the next lap and had a nice clear entry and were able to get in and out pretty quickly and passed a whole bunch of cars that way. And from there, I was just kind of able to battle and try to stay up there, stay out of trouble. Terry was a lot of help tonight. We worked together for most of the race. And it stinks to see him caught up there at the end, but yeah, he was running really well. I can't talk.
Yeah, absolutely. That number 98 machine was wicked fast today. Congratulations on your win here at Talladega. And before we let you go out today, is there anybody that you would like to thank?
Yeah, I just want to thank Terry for helping me out the whole race there, and Cody for that big shot down the backstretch. And then our servicemen and women, friends, family, team, everybody that tunes in to watch, shows up to race. And my brother's getting married this weekend, so I guess we'll dedicate this one to him. And his to be bride, and congratulations to them. And I want to thank you guys for helping out in the booth. And if you're interested in checking us out, just head on over to racerselite.com, and you can find all of our info there. Schedule standings, Discord invites. If you need to get in touch with me to sign up, if you're interested, just shoot me a message on Discord. You can find a invite right on our website homepage, racerselite.com. And lastly, if you don't mind doing us a favor, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel homepage. It's free, and it'll help you stay informed of future shows.
Just like Andrew said, you guys hit that subscribe button down below, hit the bell to get notifications for when we go live right here on Racers Elite Network. Congratulations again, Andrew, on your win today in that number 98 Bills Ford F-150. And we can't wait to get this upcoming season started.
Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Teff, driver of the number 98 Bills Ford F-150. And just a friendly reminder, if you guys enjoyed what you saw today and want to get in on the action, just head over to racerselite.com and get into their Discord, and we'll get you guys set up with us. First race is going to be November 7th in the Xfinity cars at Atlanta for 105 laps. And then we're going to switch over to Talladega once again here in the trucks. Going to head out to Daytona November 21st in the Gen 6 Cup cars. And then we're going to take a week off for Thanksgiving, come back, and we're going to run a Charlotte Motor Speedway in the mini stocks. That's going to be a lot of fun. December 12th, iRacing Super Speedway in the trucks. And then finishing out December before we start our playoff. We're going to do the 87 cars here at Talladega, and then the Daytona Gen 4 on the bumpy circuit of Daytona, and then our chase begins, rotating with Talladega trucks to Atlanta next gen, then back to the iRacing Super Speedway Gen 4 Cup cars, and then we are going back to Daytona in the next gen Cup cars. We want to thank everybody so much for joining us right here on Racers Elite Network. And we are looking forward to seeing everybody next week when we go for season 1 of the Friday night Super Speedway series right here on Racers Elite Network. On behalf, before we do end out, I always forget about this. We got to go over the results of the race, guys.
So season 4, not season 1. I just want to put that out.
Yeah, season 4. So, winner of today's race, Andrew Teff in the number 98 machine. Second, Cody Benelli in the number 19. Timothy Eisburn. Timothy Eisburn. Followed by Steve Vest. Barry Nelson will round out your top 5. Terry Fennell, Curtis Ecker, Kensley Smith, Adam Squires, Dwayne Davis, your winner of the free entry fee into this upcoming season's Friday Night Super Speedway Series. We'll round out your top 10. Kyle Hess, Mike Fudge, Kirby Wainscott, Jonathan Winslow, Mikey Allen, and Pete Polini will round out your field. What an incredible race here at Talladega Super Speedway, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get going, Dakota, is there anything that you want to get out? Your thoughts on tonight's race?
I think tonight went pretty good. I mean, minimal cautions, some good side-by-side racing, people being very respectful with the push, and the closing laps. We got a lot of action. I'm looking forward to next week, or the opening week at Atlanta, because, you get full speed there, but the tires do wear off, and you kind of get a little looser at that track. So it's definitely going to be interesting to watch these drivers as the season goes, and I look forward to it.
Yep, I know for a fact that I am looking forward to it. And before we head out today, we would like to thank a couple of our sponsors, Family Traditions Outdoors, RV rentals if you're in central Pennsylvania. Go check them out. Get yourself an RV rental, or if you have a RV just sitting around, contact them and you can consignment the rentals out and make a little bit of money while it's just sitting there doing nothing. We want to thank Speed Zone Race Control. Get a hold of Speed Zone Race Control for all of your race control needs. Very good group of people over there. We would also like to thank 213 Simware for all your simware needs. Maconi Setup Shop. If you need a really fast setup, get a hold with Maconi Setups, and they will set you up with a really good, setup for whatever series you're looking for. And that will do it for us today, right here on Racer Elite Network. I am Mike Taylor with my good friend Dakota LaRue. Thank you guys so much for joining, and we will see you guys November 7th for round number 1 of the Friday Night Super Speedway Series right here on Racer Elite Network. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, happy time zones.